What's the shortest ABT you know? Here it is. You communicate and care, but bore. Therefore, tell a story. The ABT is so marvelous. It works because it uses the three forces of story. And what I mean by those three forces are agreement, contradiction, and consequence. Now, why they work is our internal limbic subconscious brain is pattern seeking, cause and effect, decision making, buying brain, loves it when we deliver it content that is already set up with how it naturally likes to digest information. Set the scene for me, a shared vision, but plot twist, why don't we currently have it? What is it we're up against? And therefore, what do we need to do about it? It loves that. So we found that the ABT, and it doesn't matter if you have just a 15-second message you're trying to get across or a 2-hour movie. It still follows the same thing of agreement. Act one, let's set the stage, introduce you to the characters, determine what they want and why it's important to them so we can all agree that we're in the same story together. Act two, but here's the contradiction. Here's where the universe punches them in the nose and all the hell that they have to go through to come out of the other end of the consequence of that in Act 3 when we have resolution. It's the same is true with the hero's journey, follows the exact same thing. There's just a lot of these nuanced steps in between it. So we now teach the ABT because it builds narrative intuition in people. Christopher Lochhead said it best. I've got a great quote of his that he said, what he loves about the ABT is it creates this shared vision with the and, but introduces the problem, and no one is going to buy from you unless you are solving a problem for them. And then therefore, you have now set the stage for why you are best equipped to be able to help them get it. And again, you can do this in under 10 seconds. A quick example, I was doing a bunch of work with Home Depot and their internal sales team, and one of the guys there asked me, he goes, Park, what's the shortest ABT you know? Here it is. You communicate and care, but bore. Therefore, tell a story. So that is, in and of itself, is not a story, but it uses the three forces of story that ignites that subconscious limbic brain, where all of our real buying decisions are being made. Setup, problem, resolution.
I think it's so good because the but is that creates that tension. And I have found people over time, they and themselves to death on a story. And it's like, okay, and what's next? And there's never any tension that gets put in here to say like, okay, keep me interested. Whereas that but forces, that conflict. And to your point, and anyone who's heard me talk, I talk about this all the time. You have to solve a problem that is important enough and painful enough that people will continue to take out their wallet and pay you. And if you're not doing that, then you probably don't have a business for very long, or hopefully you're running a nonprofit.